Gone past the weatherman, he's out of the way now, and well, it's going to be interesting to see where we end up this morning. We really are quite interested. It's Friday, the 26th of April, and tell you what, let me do this. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, so very happy to have you on board this morning. I really am. And today, very important guest coming out of Texas, and believe me, I first of all want to say that this man has been doing his research. He's been watching a lot of these Facebook Lives, so he kind of knows, in a way, what to expect, and well, we'll see how that goes for him. We really will. Of course, we're talking about Sonny Morgan, and looking very forward to meeting Sonny live, and he's joining us now. So I tell you what, let's get it underway. Excuse me. Here's Sonny Morgan with John Deere steering wheel right here at Galaxy. So that gives us a couple of minutes to get to know each other, Sonny.
Yeah, I like that little stick she's put in front of you.
This thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this thing.
Oh, this thing.
Right there.
Yeah, you do remember Darth Vader, don't you?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yep. Remember his lightsaber, that sword thing?
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, well, it's like this thing here. Barbara is lethal with that. It's a hard hat area. You've got to get out of her way in a hurry. You really do. Now, Sonny, you'll get a copy of everything we do today.
Cool.
But at the end of this, don't go anywhere, because we're going to take some photos, stuff like that. But Barbara will put it all together in a movie for you.
Oh,
Now, I usually say to people, Sonny, and this is gospel, I do, show it to people you don't like.
there you go.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you show it to friends and family, they're automatically going to love it, right? But if you show it to people you don't like, usually that puts a fire under their tuchus, and before you know it, they're getting in touch with us saying, hey, we got a band too, you know? So it has an on-flow effect. Having said that, though, Barbara gets about 200 submissions a day.
Wow.
So it's not easy, A, getting played here, but B, getting an interview is just damn near impossible. So well done.
Well, I appreciate it. I feel great. Thank you very much.
Having said that, though, Sonny, we only play the best indie music in the world. So you're right there. So welcome to the family.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm honored.
Oh, believe me, we're very honoured to have you on board as well. We really are. Just before we start into this, do you remember William Shatner?
What's that now?
Do you remember William Shatner?
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
Captain Kirk, yeah. I see in the news this morning that the Canadian government has asked him to, well, they've recalled his lingerie line.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently Shatner Panties isn't a good name.
You know, he just turned 93.
Yeah, I know he did.
Yeah. Yeah. He looks pretty fit for that.
That's right, you're right, here at Galaxy 107 FM, and this morning we're heading all the way over to Texas and catching up with our very good new friend, and believe me, I'm looking forward to meeting this. It's Sonny Morgan coming out of Granbury, Texas, and believe me, absolutely fantastic. Welcome to Galaxy, Sonny.
Well, it'll certainly be good to be here. Happy Friday, by the way. It's still Thursday here, so happy Friday there.
Yeah, you guys are so yesterday.
Yeah, we're it's about 6:30 in the evening here on Thursday evening.
Nice. Well, it is a nice time here at Galaxy. It's just going on about past 11 a.m. So we've just finished the breakfast show a little earlier on this morning and played your music as well. I got to be honest with you. We actually, and let me fill you in here. We structure the breakfast show primarily on how many requests from our audience around the world on a basis of artist per track. You know what I mean?
Right, sure.
Now, we do only have 2 tracks of yours, and both of them consistently are showing up every morning for the breakfast show. So,
thank you, fans. Appreciate that.
I think you've made a bit of a connection with our audience.
Yeah, I tell you, that's great. Makes my day. It's you just really never know who might be listening to your music, and it's nice to know that I've got a good fan base where y'all are and around the world. Matter of fact, 82 countries is what I understand my music is being played in. So I'm very proud of that.
Well, I can up that a little bit. Okay. We're in every English-speaking country in the world, and some that aren't. And, well, I'm being told 153 at the moment.
What? Good. Well, that just adds to my collection.
It does. It really, really does. And believe me, as I say, from all around the globe, we have people requesting your music. Now, let me put it this way. I get to work about 10:30 at night. I got to go past reception to get to my office to start off with. And the receptionist, Sarah, she leaves me out 3 little USBs every night. Right?
Right.
She usually teeters off home to work, around about 5 o'clock at night. So these are sitting there. I pick up all 3. They're marked very, very, I can tell which one it is. One's for stats on how we did for the day. One's for urgent emails and everything like that I must address, mostly paperwork, stuff like that. And the last one is requests and who's requested what, when, where, and for what reasons, you know what I mean? Now, I take that one into production about 1:30 in the morning, and the 2 guys in production, which is Gonzo and Toblerone, and I'll explain that too, actually. One has a Gonzo on his desk, so guess what his nickname was? Right. And the other one likes chocolate. Okay? So I take that into them about 1:30 in the morning. By about 5 o'clock, I make it into this studio where it's piped through for me for the breakfast show. And through that time, we go through every single one of those requests, and we put it through the device that we have that tells us what requests, all in numerical order, not in alphabetical order, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that gives us now our breakfast show lineup. So then I have that piped through here, so that by the time Barbara comes in to do a morning breakfast show with me about 5:30 in the morning, everything's ready to go. And I just absolutely enjoy seeing your name there pretty much all the time.
Well, that's great. I'm balled over, man. I tell you, that's amazing.
Well, believe me, I think it's well deserved. I really do. Now, I did mention to you that we only play the best indie artists in the world. Now, believe me, absolutely loving John Deere steering wheel, I've got to be honest with you. So I think it would basically be remiss of me, and we opened up the show with this, if you didn't give me a little bit about the lyrics. Tell me about this track.
Oh, yeah. Well, John Deere steering wheel came about. I know you probably have heard of the Fabulous Thunderbirds around a long time, and so I was sitting around with our songwriters. I've got a couple of songwriters in Muscle Shoals, Alabama that I get on the phone with, and we talk about what I want to hear and what's next, and we go back and forth and back and forth. Sometimes it takes 2 days, sometimes it takes 2 months to put a song together. But I wanted to do something like that, but I wanted to also do kind of a line dance theme So, and there's, line dancing in Texas is big. So, anyway, he wanted to do something like that. So he said, well, what do you think? And I said, well, let's do something off the wall, and you know, something along the lines of maybe a girl driving a tractor or something. And that's kind of got the idea. And we've got a little. It's got a cute little lyric video that if you go on YouTube, you can see it. But anyway, that's how we came along with it, and it's got a little bit of that Fabulous Thunderbird, beat to it, and it was a lot of fun coming about. One of these days, I want to get a choreographer somehow to put together a line dance made just for John Deere, and to see what might come about on that, because I think, just like the old song Boot Scoot and Boogie, there's a whole line dance choreographed dance move to that song. So that's what I kind of want to do with that one. So all you choreographers out there, if y'all listen to the song and can come up with something, let me know, because I'd sure be interested in it. So that's kind of where it came from. There's a lot more to the story in the fact that we did go back and forth quite a bit on that song and trying to come out with something that, strawberry between her lips, all that kind of stuff. That all came about, trying to make it kind of a little sexy. And if you look at there's an album there's a picture from the album that is on there, and it's got this real beautiful girl in bikini sitting on a John Deere tractor, that kind of thing. So it was kind of built to be kind of a little bit more of a sexy type of song with line dancing, influence. That's kind of where it came from.
I love the way you think. I really do, and believe me, I'm very, very much a new fan of your work. I really, really am, and believe me,
Thank you.
I've been a radio announcer for too many years to count, and I've been an engineer now, not only a front of house, but also a studio engineer for almost about 47 years. I've worked with some of the best bands in the world, not only on stage, but I've recorded in some of the most prestigious recording studios in the world as well. And it's not often you kind of hear something in a band, because I break music down. It's a curse. It really, really is. And I speak to every engineer, and they all say the same thing. We all try and figure out how the opposition did it. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that's you can thank my producer for that one. His name's Buddy Hyatt out of Nashville. I recorded that song at in Ocean Way Studios in Nashville, and it includes some of the best artists in Nashville. Brent Mason, if you look him up, he's probably I'm going to say he's probably the best guitarist in the world right now. I mean, there's nobody better than that guy. Steve Henson, who plays steel guitar. Lonnie Wilson, who used to play for the George Strait's Ace in the Hole band. He was the drummer on it. I could go on and on and on about it. The fiddle player, number one fiddle player in the world. Just goes on and on. Joe Spivey was his name, by the way. But you go through that, and if you look those guys up, they played on Alan Jackson. They played on George Strait. Brent Mason has played on 29 of George Strait's studio albums. So, I'm pretty flattered that that band was behind me on all of that. And actually, the 4 albums that I've recorded, they're on every one of them. So, they've never. Buddy Hyatt, who's my producer, was also the keyboardist in that. Who kind of give you a little idea behind him. He's was with Toto. He was the keyboard artist for Toto for a long, long time. And these are pros. They, you don't have to do but one take on these guys, and they're done. I mean, that's the way they are.
I fully understand exactly where you're coming from, and nice to have a plug there too for everybody. It really, really is.
Yeah.
But I've been told that we've got to move on a little bit. So,
sure.
Sonny, I really would like to get behind the reason for this, because it is just going out of the stratosphere right now. 3,791 requests for Girl and Her Truck here at Galaxy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What's the secret to the success? Tell me a little bit about this track.
Well, same songwriters, Valerie Wilson and Mark Namore. Mark Namore, to kind of give you who he is, he wrote Moon Over Georgia for Shenandoah, and he and I become real close friends and great. They're great people out of Muscle Shoals, and you know some of the best work in the world in music came out of Muscle Shoals, Alabama. But anyway, we were just sitting around noodling, talking on the phone, and I wanted something to do with a guy getting rejected by some gal he's trying to pick up. Basically, is what it was. And so the ideas just started flowing, and next thing you know, we're talking about in Texas, everybody drives a pickup, and we're thinking, well, here's this gal, actually, it kind of came about with a lady that I saw one time at a grocery store driving a pickup that was jacked up about 15 feet up in the air, and I was trying to figure out how she got in there. But anyway, that's kind of where it started, and it's kind of one of those things where you just start using your imagination and throwing stuff on the wall, and seeing if it sticks, and we came up with a great set of lyrics on that thing. I mean, it's Valerie and Mark that are the geniuses. I'm just there to say, hey, I like that, or I don't like it, that kind of thing. And we kind of hemmed and hawed back and forth about it. At first, when they threw me the first cut on it, it was a little bit. I really didn't like it, and Valerie said, "Well, let me go back to the drawing board and let's see what we can do." So she came up with it, and I said, "Man, I'm still not sold on the way it sounds." And so that's about 4 or 5 times they came back at it, and I think Mark was getting a little bit upset with me, but because I kept saying no, 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 and they're wanting to know why, and and it all of a sudden between the three of us actually, it made a lot more sense, and that's where it came up with "Girl in Her Truck," and it really is it's a great little song. I mean, you can put yourself right in that guy's shoes. I mean, it really and truly, it could be a true story almost. It's one of those, kind of reminds me of something Toby Keith might have done, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you listen to his music and his lyrics, he's come up with some of those kind of lyrics.
Sonny, I fully agree with you. I really do. Now I've got to run down through the list while I've got them here. Mark Willadell is joining us. Nice to have you on board, Mark. CC Critter is here. Marion Peterson is joining us. Joe Levy. Terry Williams is joining us. Jude Toy. Hello, Jude. Nice to have you on board. Dave Crimmins, looking forward to catching up with you, my friend. And unfortunately, the boss is watching as well. So better say hello to the boss.
Hey, boss.
Hey, boss.
In the meantime, folks, believe me, absolutely loving this because it is making a huge sensation here at Galaxy is Sonny Morgan and Girl and Her Truck. You're right here at Galaxy. Good morning. How you feeling, Sonny? You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Doing good.
Nice. Oof.
Man,
Gosh, it's
I
hot.
ought to try to bring the band down there and do a concert.
Oh, we'd love you to. We really, really would.
Probably spell it out.
Should I talk about the...
After we will.
After?
Yeah.
Yep. I've got something I want to talk to you about once we finish this. We'll do some photos and stuff as well. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. How many cities?
50 cities.
No, that's countries. Cities. Okay, 4,892 cities are tuned in right now.
Wow. Good gosh. I wrote that down so I wouldn't forget it.
Yeah, well, I'll give you the bigger number later once this is finished, because believe me, the numbers are still going up right now, but it's the one you really, really want, is how many tuned in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And that one I think you will be very surprised about.
Yeah.
When we first started doing this, Barbara and I, about 10 years ago, we were kind of happy if we got 10 people.
Sure.
Now it's just gone ballistic. It's crazy. It really is. And we love each and every one, but I'm not going to buy you all a beer. I'd be broke if I did.
gosh, that's great. You know, I just released the fourth CD, which has got "Girl in Her Truck" on there, and it's a wonderful 10-song CD. It's got a lot of good music on it. The album's called "Lonely Star State," which that particular cut is a real good one too. I love that song, and that fits me. They wrote that. They wrote that. There's 2 songs on there they literally wrote for me personally, and one of them is called Small Town Big Time, which basically that's the place I live. I live in this little town called Granbury, Texas, which is, you know, they say somewhere between 10 and 15,000 people, which is a small town in Texas. And but it's got some great lyrics and talks about. I mean, the lyrics are true stories. I mean, there's stuff that I didn't make
Sonny,
up. I mean,
I'm going to have to cut you off there. We're just running out of time, so
yeah.
we'll have a chat about that in a sec. That's really loud. That's right. You are here at Galaxy 107 FM, and this morning we're talking to Sonny Morgan coming out of Texas, and believe me, that really is quite loud. Can you guys turn that down a bit? Thank you. Having said that, Sonny, and it's a real pleasure to have you on board, but we only do have 2 songs. Anything new in the can? Have you got anything coming out in the near future?
Well, we just released this album just March 1st, so, and it's got a lot of great songs on it. They're the new songs. Got Girl in Her Truck was a new one. There's another one called Beach Solution that is really good. Old Banjo's a new one. Just literally that whole album's got 10 songs on it, and all 10 of them are relatively new. The last 4 or 5 were right out of the box. I mean, we recorded those songs, I think, in either February or March. No, it was February. It was, it's probably January, February, probably. But anyway, this year. And so that's what we got right now. I've got some stuff kind of with the songwriters, but we kind of put it on hold to see what's happening with this new album I've got. You know, George Strait, he and I were pretty good buddies over the years. I've known him about 13, 14 years. But, you know, he hasn't had a studio album out since that Honky Tonk Time Machine, which came out about 4 or 5 years ago. All the albums he does, he just doesn't come out with a lot of them and keeps people in kind of suspense. Now, what I understand is he's working on a new one, but I kind of feel like the same, let people digest what I already have. And then, you know, if I keep coming out with stuff, you know, one on top of the other, it doesn't make as much impact. So we're going to I might do something towards the end of the year, but probably not. It'll probably be this time next year, probably what I'll do. But I will tell you this. I've got, here you go right here. I've got a stack of songs that I've been sent that I've gone through and started working on. So, you know, you never know about me. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, when the time comes and the opportunity arises, that's when it will happen.
You know, that's exciting because really I'm about to ask, will you come back again? Will you have another interview with us? Will you send us more new music? In fact, how would you like to send the whole album in MP3 format to Barbara so that we can pick through it and play that on our breakfast show and stuff like that?
Yeah, Barbara, what'll happen is I'll send all 10 songs, but they'll come one at a time.
Yeah.
Not all at a time, because my server just can't handle all the music through there that way. But what I'll do is there'll be 10 different cuts. You've already got Girl in Her Truck, so you've already got that one, but it'll be 9 more. And there's some good ones. One of them called Beach Solution is kind of a Jimmy Buffett beachy sound, and I had one called "Spend It With You." You can look these things up. They're all over electronic media. But "Spend It With You" came out off of I believe that was on my second album. I think, or it could have been my first. I'm not sure. But anyway, it went over real well down in Florida. There's a station down there that plays a lot of beach music, and so I said, and this was way before Jimmy Buffett passed away. We started writing that song, Beach Solution, and it is really good. I even had some steel drummers come in and help record with me. So, that was a good one there. So I'll send those to you, Barbara, and y'all pick and choose what you want, or play them all. That's fine. There's some good stories behind those songs too.
Yeah, Sonny, believe me, I'm very, very excited about that. Now, just got one very, very quick question for you, and this is rather, amusing. You used to sell cars back in the day.
Yeah, in the car business, and sold Willie Nelson and Charlie Pride, and of course George Strait. Sold him a lot of cars over the year, and what happened when I decided that, it was kind of funny. I started singing in the church choir when I was a kid, and all the way through my adult years, and I played. My dad put a trumpet in my hand when I was 10 years old and said, "You need to learn to play this and read music." So I did that all through high school, from 10 years old to high school, and one of my best, my idols of trumpet players was a guy named Harry James back in the day, and believe me or not, I ran into him in Las Vegas, of all things, in a private party he was doing. I was there, and he had an extra trumpet, and I played trumpet with him on stage with him. So that was a lot of fun. But that's where the music part of it came from. But the car business kept me busy, and I never really had a chance to do much with the music. So what I do on the weekend is there was a little place, a little bar around the corner from where I lived, and I'd sneak over there on a Sunday night when there wasn't anybody there, and I'd do karaoke. And so it started out, there was nobody there, and then a few people were there, and then the next thing I know, I'm up there with an audience just wanting me to sing for them. And so that's how it kind of got started, and I met Ray Benson of Sleep at the Wheel when we were living in Austin at the time, Austin, Texas at the time, and I met Ray Benson of Sleep at the Wheel, and got to telling him about my music and or what I wanted to do with my music, and he said, "Well, why don't you just do it?" And I said, "Well, I don't know yet." And he said, "Well, why don't you I picked him up in a car. I sold Bentleys and Rolls Royces and Aston Martins and stuff. So anyway, I picked him up in a Bentley one day, took him to a show. Well, he got me up on stage with him, and I started singing with him like I'd been singing with him for 100 years. And that was the boot that kicked me over the fence. That's what did it. And old George didn't really want me to do that. He wanted me to stay selling him cars. But anyway, I told him that he said, "Well, you won't make it in the music business." He said, "It's too busy. It's dog eat dog, yada yada yada." And well, I sent him a picture of my album of the year that I won with the Independent Singers and Songwriters Association back in 22. So, I got a little bit of response, not much, but anyway, I'm pretty proud of that. But that's kind of how it started. And I retired from the business. I sold our dealership and doing this full time now.
Nice. Nice. Well, I got to let you know I do have a Rolls. I have a Rolls.
Yeah?
I have a Rolls Canardly.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, Rolls downhills Canardly make them back up again.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's my family car, believe me, it is. Michael Zdanowitz coming out of Orlando, Florida. That, of course, is the land of Disney, isn't it? And, of course, he's the owner and CEO and manager of the company, of course, Galaxy Class Entertainment. So if your band ever needs any kind of promotions, either get in touch with Barbara here or get in touch with Michael Zdanowitz. He does such a great job. Got to say hi to Cheryl Arnold. Nice to have Cheryl with us this morning. Very, very cool to have you on board. Stephen John Ireland is joining us as well. Nice to have you on board, Stephen. And Chris Andreas coming out of Vancouver Island. Love, love, love that. Just wondering if you know anything about the Narrows. Yeah, going to ask you one of these days. That's where we're supposed to be going hunting for our Sasquatch or something, isn't it? Somewhere around there. Anyway, having said that, Sonny, we are going to have to wrap this up right now, but I'm just wondering, will you come back for another interview in the near future?
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Brilliant, because we would love to have you back again. I'll get Barbara to set something up with you once we get these MP3s, and we'll see how that goes. Believe me, I'm looking forward to that.
And Barbara, if you don't mind, like you have been communicating with me, if you'll send me your email address, I'll go ahead and get that going.
Surely will.
Nice, nice. In fact, hang in there, my friend. Of course, we're going to do some
Jay,
photos,
how
stuff
are
like
you?
that behind the scenes, and get this movie made for you as well. So Barbara's busy waving at the camera right now.
Jay in India.
Oh, okay. Jay Pillai is watching. Nice to have you on board, Jay. It really, really is. Love you, brother, man. We really, really do. And got to catch up with you and Sunda very, very shortly. We need a meeting. We do. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this week as well. Next week, we've got a full card. We really, really do. So join us then. But don't forget, we're here Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. through until 10 o'clock in the morning in the breakfast show, and you will only hear the best indie artists in the world right there. Unless you join us on Monday night. Really. It's the Galaxy Artist Show. Yeah. In the meantime, take care. From me, happy radio, everyone.